XRP is breaking out. Yes, you guys can slap me across the face and say that I was wrong, as we saw a $66,000 Bitcoin yesterday. And more importantly, guys, we have breaking news coming out of the ETF sector. And I got a very, very special article for you here today talking about the biggest narratives in crypto for 2024 here. There is the XRP pill for me to put my head on as you guys smack me into it. But yeah, we're seeing 61 cents, 62 cents, guys. And of course, today, if you guys have XRP, if you have Bitcoin, if you have Ethereum, put that in an Arculus wallet. Today's show sponsor and forever sponsor. My name is Joshua Jake, guys, your host today with our, of course, co-host DZ on the sticks and TJ driving the wheel behind the scene. How you guys feeling today?
Doing great. TJ, you're dressed sharp today. You're looking good. Yep. You got the Manolo Blahniks on, just like OJ. And how's that pillow feel as well?
It's kind of thin, like the price action. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and jump into the market update here, guys. 64,000. Actually, we got to refresh this because it is pumping a little bit.
Yeah, we're above 65 right now.
65,180. What a beautiful sight. Bears are nowhere to be seen. I've been looking for them, guys. I was going on a hunt last night looking for the Knights. If you guys are a part of the Gnome community, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But we saw nothing. We saw no bears out there yesterday. Ethereum here, $3,466. XRP, look at that, chat. 40%. This is XRP's, I think, biggest move I've seen in like 3 years.
Well, no, it had the SEC case where it went 43 to 86 or whatever, or something like that, 45 to 90. But the biggest move since then, and the biggest move in years besides that, for sure. Yeah, XRP, you know what? If you're in the XRP community, been holding XRP for years, go ahead, hit that like button. Today is your day. It feels good. At one point, we're up about 15% just in 24 hours.
Yeah, real quick, I had a question for the chat. If you are an XRP holder, you've been holding it for a long time, like DZ was talking about, I want to hear from you guys. We're going to talk about it in this show some, what we think people should do with the pumps here, but I want to hear from you. What is your plan? Say it continues to pump, say it hits $1. Are you holding till 2025? Are you rotating out? Are you still think this will be the de facto money transfer system around the world? Let us know what you think in the comments and in the chat, because I'm really, really curious.
And before you give your price prediction, what is your XRP price prediction, chat? I want to see that.
Well, my XRP price strategy was, I've been pretty public. I've been a little bit more patient with it than you have. I said, we're going to get some good news. It looks like we're going to get some good news. We've seen what the escrow wallet's doing. There's a little bit of anticipation to a move to the upside. We said the only thing we're waiting on right now is for the SEC to decide on the hefty fine. Is it going to be $200 million? Are they going to ask for $10 billion? XRP, petitioned the court and said, lower that fine so the markets don't like uncertainty. So we predicting, hey, this is probably going to have some good moves to the upside. My strategy was, once we get that 2x pump, go ahead and put it into a faster horse. Now, that being said, we haven't seen the 2x yet, but we're approaching that 2x rank.
Yeah, we have a lot of hodls in the chat here. Some price action at $3, at $5. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is put a limit sell order right under 5, right under 3, and then of course.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see, Trucker Dano. Let's see. We've got a lot of different answers in here. I want to read a few of them off. Holding till 25. Hold. Take profit and rotate into Sol. I'm probably rotating. Alden says, take some profit at $3. Holding for years, hold. So it's definitely got a strong hodl gang.
It's been sitting in my XSUM wallet since the beginning of time, I feel like here. But you got to give credit where it's due. I mean, Brad Garlinghouse here, guys, the CEO, of course, of Ripple Labs, and everything. Jed McCaleb. Well, let's give credit where it's, I guess, due. Jed McCaleb kind of dipped and just dumped on us. But Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, Chris Larson, they've been spearheading the entire fight against the SEC. So despite the price action, XRP is still insanely successful. It's had over a decade of experience. It's been around forever. One of the oldest projects out there.
It's made ripples in the industry.
Made ripples, you could say. Yes, there you go for the pun. But yeah, $30 billion worth. So what I look at for XRP here, we're going to get the price action and charts in just a second. I want to see the 70 cents. I feel like most holders came in at XRP between 70 and 80 cents. Being told it was going to flip that switch. So we still got some major resistance levels we got to break through. But Dogecoin here, 15% in the last 30 days. Is that what I'm looking at on the right? Or 7 days, sorry. Shiba Inu, 17.7%. And the top movers here are going to be Worldcoin still. Worldcoin's going crazy, 54%.
Yeah. A lot of people scanning that eyeball.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
So this is what's interesting. It makes me, what I'm noticing is a lot of the politically charged coins are moving. A lot of the like Ripple, like Worldcoin, a lot of the ones where the world elite, you could say, are involved in it, and it's a lot of political lobbying going on behind it. Those are the coins that are moving, which I've always said is kind of the reason I'm not as interested in XRP. I'm happy for other people to make money with it, but coins that are required to have political, what's the word?
Engagement.
Yeah, like they want like the policies is what matters. Like it removes our competitive advantage. We know by looking, like when you're looking at Arweave or Render or Solana, we can assess a blockchain based on what it merits it brings and knows, okay, this is a good technological product. I could see this being successful. That's our competitive advantage. When it comes to payments coins, whether it was Digibyte or XRP or XLM or any of these things that we're trying to replace cross-border transfers, yes, it's viable, but there's no way you can know which one the establishment is going to choose. You just have to kind of hope you hit the right one.
So for a retail like listening in, you're saying you're really a DeFi guy. You want nothing to do with the centralized reality of the politics in crypto.
I just don't feel like I have a competitive advantage there as an investor. So I choose to move on. Like when we had some XRP, I moved it into Solana when it was down, doubled up almost immediately. I was happy with that choice. I'm very happy to see other people making money in XRP. We see Ray said traded XRP for Link and AVAX. I think that was a great choice. I think those will move
Link
very well.
It, man.
Yeah, Link's been crushing it very well. So, Arweave said there's people
speaking of Link, we have Arweave here. I didn't mean to cut you off there. You got Arweave on the portfolio though? Is that what you're saying?
No, somebody in the chat was saying Arweave, baby. No, but it is,
TradFi.
if I had to pick, I like looking at the weekly. Go ahead and do the 7-day. I know that's
7 days right here. So you're looking at Arweave, XRP, and Worldcoin.
And I got
Also
breaking
ICP
Worldcoin news after we talk about all this.
Yeah, and we've got Near right there as well. So yeah.
Who's that down there? Who's that down there? There's that Bitcoin DeFi.
Yeah,
you have a very strong point on this though. It is a lot of the lobbying tokens that are behind this. I mean, even ICP has like ties to a lot of different national conglomerates. So it's like when you're looking at these products moving, Arweave's an interesting one here because we are going to be looking at somewhat of a competitor here to. I want to put it really, it's a competitor to Filecoin here. It's a $2 billion market cap. It's been absolutely tearing through it. I sold this way too early. This was a product that I actually made some decent money on back in 2021. But I got out like way back here. This was one of like the first products I was actually into before realizing how needed DPIN was going to be down the road. We have Roosevelt here saying...
Yeah, Roosevelt Taylor, $5 super chat. Thoughts on reallocating funds from Avalanche to Solana? I'll say they're very similar in one aspect. And the aspect they're similar in, daily token unlocks. If you don't know, both those coins inflate at a very regular rate. So they both are incentivized by big holders who have tokens unlocking in the future to pump that token. But then also that's going to create the selling pressure that's going to diminish that token. I think they're going to perform in lockstep, actually. And I honestly have a hard time. To me, that is about as close to a coin flip as I can think of in crypto.
Yeah, I mean, AVAX, $10 billion market cap. These are blue chips, guys. These are blue chips.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The biggest difference, AVAX, 11 billion market cap, or at least I'm looking at coin market cap, 11 billion on coin market cap compared to 74 billion on Solana. So that's the key difference there is you could see it's a lot easier for Avalanche to make gains than Solana. That being said, I still think Solana's got much bigger brand awareness, much bigger money behind it. I still, like I said yesterday, see that moving into the number 3 position. Past flipping BNB, flipping Tether even. So
it's got that VC love, but also like if you look at Solana's chart, I mean, are we like witnessing the largest cup and handle in existence to like ever take place? So, while Solana, by the way, guys, let's say Solana does a 2x here, that's where I would think you'd be seeing AVAXs do a 3x, right? Mm-hmm. There's still, there's a bit of a difference there with the volume that comes into the market. So interesting perspective, but Solana definitely taking the lead right now with all of the DEX volume in the industry. Well, let's get to these charts. Let's talk about what's happening because you had breaking news really quick with Worldcoin.
Yeah,
and then I want to get into XRP.
Yeah, you saw
here.
Worldcoin, the biggest gainer, even beating XRP. Well, Worldcoin had some news. They did a tweet here. Prioritizing simplicity helps build for every human. Well, they got zacked, everybody. They got Zach XBT. Prioritizing simplicity, actually allowing insiders to continue profit off your scam token while LARPing as if you build tools for humanity. And if you click right here, have to lean in a little, 24 hours before the news, price starts pumping for the first time in months, and then they unlock an extension announcement right there. So suspicious pumping in the 24 hours before the news there. Zach is saying, hey, those insiders selling the token.
Maybe some inside information right there. Man.
Or buying the token to sell later.
Maybe I don't think we'd ever see that type of activity in crypto, though. right?
Not
That's
for
only
something.
stock market behavior.
No, when I think of WorldCoin, I don't think ominous.
Yeah, I don't think selling
scary.
my data to the government. Why would I think that?
Yeah,
Why
I don't
would
think,
I think that?
I don't think Eon Flux villain. Not at all.
Well, hey, we have also breaking news as of literally a couple minutes ago. First, in the wave of Ethereum ETF filings that are expecting today, just came in from 21 shares. They're matching their Bitcoin ETF fee. So already massive competition with the fees with Ethereum. Again, they're expecting 33% of the amount of inflows that went into Bitcoin to go into Ethereum. That is coming from VanEck. So very bullish for altcoin season here. And while I break down XRP, if you want to pull up the market cap minus the top 10, projects.
Yeah, that is a total or no others.
It's others.
Yeah, Crypto Crank, $2 super chat. At this point, can we agree $1,000 soul is too easy? No, because that's when you start getting those really, really high valuations.
It's a very psychological number. Like I'm out at 753.
Coins don't like passing 80 billion. There's a speed bump at 20 billion, and there's another speed bump at 80 billion.
Very interesting though. What happens when institutions do unlock with regulatory clarity? Like if we're looking at
then it's
JD Vance, Trump administration, very pro crypto legislation.
Then it's the sky's the limit. Then it's Ethereum. Then it's Bitcoin. Then you're talking about $300 billion or $1 trillion market cap.
I don't know if I would say it's too easy, but it's very achievable. I would say that. It would not shock me one bit in 2025.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at what, a $340 billion market cap for Solana. That's not out of the picture.
No,
that's not out
of the pack. Especially if we think the whole total crypto market cap could be pushing $5 trillion, which I completely do.
Yeah, let's ask chat here, guys. As you guys hit that like button, go to the right into the comment section and give us your Solana price prediction for 2024 as XRP is soaring 61%. Yes, is a Ripple lawsuit verdict getting priced in? So just like Worldcoin, are we seeing a little bit of maybe some information floating around that could mean we're going to get a pretty significant breakout here? The cryptocurrency XRP issued by Ripple Labs has been on a meteoric rise, gaining nearly 61% in value since July 5th, so in about 12 days. The dramatic upswing isn't just a random spike in the unpredictable world of cryptocurrencies. It's a reflection of the growing optimism surrounding the potential conclusion of the long-standing legal dispute between Ripple Labs and the Securities and Exchange Commission. The outcome of this case could be very well reshaping the future of digital assets in this industry. A scheduled private message between the SEC and Ripple on Thursday, or meeting here, July 18th, has added to the market's fervor. So we are looking at less than 24 hours from now. We could be maybe seeing a settlement. There's a lot of speculation around this as the final legal battles enters the final stages.
Here's my question. In this secret meeting that is taking place tomorrow between XRP executives and government officials, is there going to be in the corner, in the dark, Elizabeth Warren smoking a cigarette?
Just like...
just her face,
puff,
just her cackling
puff.
face just lit up by the embers of the cigarette.
Puff, puff, and pass. That's what she's doing here.
Oh, she ain't smoking the funny tobacco.
Maybe it's her eyes twitching from just outrage. I don't know. It's bad. Don't smoke, chat. Don't smoke. It's bad for your health.
Smoke is bad, okay?
As the legal battle enters its final stages, the cryptocurrency community watches with bated breath. Wow, big words here. Hoping for a resolution that could have far-reaching consequences for the digital asset industry. So, yeah, chat, let us know here. What do you think is going to happen to XRP? Are they about to win this lawsuit? Are we going to see a $2 XRP next week?
We are in a weird place with the XRP because right now we're seeing XRP pump. And then we have this big secret meeting taking place tomorrow. In a vacuum, I would say, well, this is just a clear indication that the insiders have some information and it's going to be favorable. Or maybe they just know that a settlement is coming. And markets, like I said, don't like uncertainty. So that's going to create a pump. There's one wrinkle to this theory. Is this a JD Vance pump? And we just have a meeting tomorrow, coincidentally.
Because they are his largest donor? Is that what you're saying?
Well, JD Vance, connected to San Francisco, Silicon Valley VCs, working with the tech bros out there. So, it could be a JD Vance pump. It could be a secret meeting inside information pump, or it could just be they both happen in the same week and it's a coincidence. And if I've learned one thing about being an XRP holder, it's that it often isn't what we want it to be. And so looking at this chart here, on God, if you're reading this according to Crypto BitLord, study the XRP chart here. This is insane. This is a $589 price prediction for XRP.
He's really predicting a $589.
I'm going to talk about this. It's insane. But we're looking at ones in the chat if you think XRP is going to hit all-time highs this cycle. 2 if you don't. 1 in chat if you think XRP is going to hit all-time highs this cycle.
Like $3.
2 if you don't. Because according to Crypto BitLord, now study fractals. You should understand that the relationship between exponential growth and logarithmic scale. Now study the possibility of $28 XRP Tell me what you think. Am I crazy to think $589 is still possible?
Yes.
So, hey, let's hear him out, TJ. Let's hear him out, okay? He's obviously spoken some of that good ganja. I think Nancy did end up, or what do you call it? Did end up passing the puff to good old
to
crypto
this guy. The
Bitlord
reason
here.
I pulled this tweet up. The reason I pulled this tweet up is people are saying, "Oh, you got to take this exit liquidity right now. You know, you got to get out at 60 cents. It's just going to be nothing but selling pressure." There are a certain number of people literally waiting for a $600 XRP. And so, you know, when you think it's going to dump, it probably will dump, but it's the selling pressure isn't going to be 100%. There's people who diamond hand the piss out of this coin.
He is staring at the charts, and he's loving staring at these charts, looking at from 53 cents to $28 here for XRP. And then, of course,
Dynamite, we don't mean to mess with your dreams, but if you think it's going to $600, you're going to have nightmares.
Well, Crypto Bitlord, looking at the fractal here, a similar move puts us between $28 and yes, $589. Now a more conservative target. Okay, let's hear what his conservative price prediction is. Puts us at a $7 target for many years ago. $7 feels too easy though, in my opinion. I can't stop staring at this chart. You can't deny a similar move on the log scale puts us in this price range. The question is, do we get a similar move in comparison? Now, what I hate about this is it puts us in this price range. The price range is between $1,000 and $1,000 essentially. That's like me being like, you know what? Hey, guess a number between 1 and 1,000, TJ, and you have a very small chance at hitting it.
Yeah. Sufficient enough. Bro just drew an arrow straight up. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. But then, you know, there's people, hey, you just need to understand XRP, man. Well, you know, we look at the remittance payments. We look at, you know, if everything is tokenized. And I'm more of a game theory person, not just looking at numbers of all assets.
If all the assets in the world were on XRP, we're using XRP, which again, there's a whole other discussion about.
Yeah, that's a whole another conversation.
But it would not be 589. So just that there's got to be just like engagement bait trolling at this point. But like, if you think it can hit $7, I can listen to you.
Yeah, $5.89.
I'm not going to prejudge it. I'm just going to say I don't agree with it. But what I do want to point out is I have to give XRP for credit, guys. It woke me the heck up. I mean, it was what literally taught me about, like, when I started learning about cross-border remittance systems and why it's important, and you start learning the flow of money and how monetary policies in the U.S. are, like, atrocious. You're like, and you're just watching debt just increase and increase and increase and increase, and so much money be wasted. You learn a lot when you study XRP. The difference is I think there's a very logical, conservative perspective on what this means for the overall community versus, you know, Ripple and XRP were going to be the one and only infrastructure play doing this. And now you have a lot of competition and your banks are going to come in and tokenize everything and do the same thing. So it does have that factor to it where I'm like, wow, XRP does teach a lot of people about the future of these markets. But this is a breakout I would look at. This is between, if we do break out of this, we're in this downtrend. We've been in downtrend for this is since 2021, and we are, you know, could be right. We've had a few.
It's been in a downtrend since 2017.
Yeah, well, I mean,
okay. Hey, let's before
it's
we
not
pass
as clear.
enough.
It's not a clear trend line, but yeah, we got to.
Yeah, what I want to point out is going to be we are breaking out right now. That's what people are getting excited for. But do notice there has been a lot of bear traps created over the years, and so if we do get confirmation on this breakout, this is where I say maybe you get a retest, but we could see that 72 to 72 cents to $1.
Yeah, we will have to retest that as support. We have to retest that as support. There's no way it just goes up to the top of that green box.
To the moon. Well, Bitcoin briefly touches $66,000 as the rebound continues. Bitcoin rallied above $66,000 in early Asian trading on Wednesday, extending its recent gains after volatile weeks. So are we going to be going up further or are we going to crash? Should you buy or should you sell? That is what we're covering in these next articles. This comes after a period of uncertainty in July, when Bitcoin dropped as low as $53,500 amid concerns surrounding repayments from defunct exchange Mt. Gox. Can we just spam boos in the chat? Yeah. Boo to all the bears.
This man.
Boo.
Or you can just type in boo earns if you like.
2 weeks ago, we were at $53,000, and everybody on Twitter and YouTube was flooding you, telling we're going to go lower. We're going to go lower. Well, we didn't go lower. Eugene Chung from VP and head of institutions at Bybit wrote in a note shared with Decrypt, now that the German government has exhausted its Bitcoin selling, the market is likely to see near-term relief and renewed demand flowing into the support the market, and market profitability stay strong. I am going to be showing you guys something in today's episode. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit that like button because it's towards the end. But there's an insanely bullish event that was announced today. We've been having all of these outflows from Germany. People worried about Mt. Gox, which is almost becoming a nothing burger. But what if I told you there's a mass amount of inflows coming from retail from something that nobody is talking about? We're going to cover that here in just a little bit.
Am I going to sell my 3.7 Chainlink and start market buying? Is that what it is?
Hey, yo, well, chill there. I mean, you might want to buy a brand new home with that price. There.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
I don't.
Josh, on your
diversify a
show
little
last
bit.
night, you said you thought Link would only go to $30, $40 this bull market. Why so bearish?
Well, one, that's not a bearish price prediction. That's incredibly bullish. I mean, that's a 3x. That's a 3x. That's not bearish. That is the definition of bullish.
In crypto, that's bearish.
Look. What I'm saying is if you're putting yourself into a position of, oh, I'm not going to sell to $100 or I'm not going to sell to $200, you're automatically setting yourself up for failure, because the number one issue in these markets isn't the fact that, well, it is this issue. It is emotions. So if you preemptively tell yourself you're not going to buy at or sell at a 3 or 4x, I'm somebody that, like in Ondo, I just bought a Tesla with profits, right? If I do a 4x on Ondo, I would be ridiculous. It would be ridiculous. It'd be crazy if I didn't take profits and then reallocate that, diversify, put it into ETFs, put it into maybe a down payment on a house, right? So my point to that is that as we hit 3, 4x, look, I'm not expecting Chainlink to give me a 10 or 20x this cycle. I'm not. If it does, amazing. We're going to be disgustingly rich. But my whole point is to teach you guys to risk manage and be prepared for both the best and the worst outcomes. What if it does end up only peaking at $42, but you didn't prepare yourself to take any profits, and now all of a sudden you're just caught holding the bag again for another bear market. Bear markets suck. They're 4 years. It does not feel good. I mean, 2021 feels like a decade ago. I straight up have gotten gray hairs at 26 years old because of the crypto market. That's not healthy, right? So I just want everybody to be prepared for both the best and worst case outcomes.
You're in Vegas, and you got to say, I'm going to predict the Link top. If I get it correct, I get $1 million. What is the dollar amount that Link hits? I'll start. I will say, I think $100 is going to happen. I don't think we can hit $200, and I think there might be a lot of selling pressure as we're in this $100 range. Say room 112 where the players dwell. I'm going 112.
Well, real quick, Josh, take a second, look at it, think about it. While he's thinking about that, I wanted to make a point to follow up on what you was just saying. Like there's a difference between bearish and conservative or realistic. And I think that's kind of a lot of Josh's takes or predictions might be a little bit more on the conservative side. I might be a little bit more bullish, a little bit more emotional, but there's a difference between being conservative and thinking about exit strategies, which is important when you're investing, to exactly what his point was saying. Roll it back into Bitcoin, roll it into real estate, roll it into something you can experience in your real life. You can always get back in if you think it's going to continue to run. So, and the other thing to keep in mind is timing. You have to see where the price is at a certain point in time. If Chainlink makes a huge run by the end of this year, sure, maybe it can continue to run into 2025. If it's sitting at $30 or $40 in March and you're holding out for a $200, $100 Chainlink in May, it's going to be a different story. So keeping an eye on the market caps, understanding the money flow is very, very important. I think that was really good advice you just gave, Josh. It's fun to be bullish. It's fun to talk about how high these coins could go, but you need to almost, with any of your price predictions, kind of have like a conservative number, hey, maybe this is a realistic number, and then this is my most bullish scenario of like, if everything goes right for Chainlink, if it gets an ETF, because Chainlink has a chance to be one of the more used coins, but you also have to look at the way it works. It has a higher inflation rate than other things. It's not really designed to go up the way Bitcoin is. So,
and Sergey will dump on you. Yeah, we have username $178. TJ, I don't know if you want to throw out a price. We have 120, 90 to 100. Nothing crazy there. Let's see, 112. They do like that reference. Link is not alone, so no way $100. 150. You guys have any numbers?
What do you think, Josh? Do you have your number?
125, 75.
I don't think it's conservative. I think maybe $45 to $52. Like, I think it's going to battle.
You think it's just going to kind of top out at
because of the inflation?
I pulled it up here. The $30 to $40 range has a little bit of a validity here, because that was the top right there, the top right there, and the top right there. We're all about $35.
And let's say we do break out past those all-time highs. Like, what I want people to be prepared for, and this is just me, I was naive in 2021. Like, I was very hopium, very only talk about positive price action, and was lacking a lot of the risk management side of things. Now, part of that is because I went from being a broke college student to literally making 6 figures and being like, holy smokes, what's happening in my life? Of course, you're going to have that emotional factor. I was emotional in 2021. This time around, I got to realize, guys, everybody in this chat, we're all in this together, and we're all different individuals. So between Jason, Juglins, Ed, KM, James, everybody in the chat. Some of you have 2 kids. Some of you have medical bills. Some of you have college debt. Some of you have multiple different, mortgages, whatever it is. I want everybody to be prepared to take those profits along the way up. That's why we preach the 50, 25, 25. Fridays, guys, if you're not a member already, join the membership. You're going to be looking at our portfolio, which is, we manage quite a few of these portfolios. They're absolutely crushing it right now. But you guys are going to watch us reallocate these positions, take profits, and of course, do what's best for us. But you have to remember at the same time, I'm 26, almost 27. I'm getting married. I got, that's going to be costly, but I really don't have too many debts, right? I'm in a different position, and that's not to brag or be arrogant or anything. It's just have that open perspective on everybody around you. As we get to these levels, maybe I could put $1,000 in and never care about it. But somebody else, they put $1,000 in. If that goes to $3,000, $2,000 is a lot of money for a lot of families in this economy right now. So I just want to be prepared and risk manage on the way.
And that being said, your dollar amount is
$46.72. There we go. Let's get to the liquidations here.
I will real quick before you do that. I'll because I'm still the ever optimist. Maybe we got burned a little bit in 2021. I still think we're going to see a exponentially mega cycle this time. All-time high sitting at $47. I realized the market cap in order to break that, that was in 2021. There's been a lot of inflation since then. How much is out? I'm still going to say, I'll say we can double previous all-time high and push $80 to $90. That's my number.
I love it. And last thing I'm going to say on this too is, guys, I'm saying take profits. That doesn't mean at $46, I'm just like, 100% completely gone, right? It's just like, we're now up 3x. Why are you not taking out the initials? You readjust those portfolios and create a strategy that you build with these markets.
Because last time I sold at a 2x, it ended up doing a 20x.
Exactly, right? But a research here, short-term holder recovery gains as 87% here. Bitcoin supply now in profit. 87% of Bitcoin supply is now in profit again. When this starts approaching, 100% profitability, guys, again, that's where I'm like, holy smokes. And we'll see that at 80K. But of course, that's just how all-time highs work. So that's just how markets work. Over the past 4 years, the average cumulative value of percentage supply in profit has served as either support or resistance. This time, history repeated itself. There's no magic here. Rather, it's just law of large numbers and the effect of their mean values, which eliminates all of the noise here. So this is a really, really cool, depiction here. What we're looking at, of course, is Bitcoin's price, percent of supply in profit. So again, we're at that. We went down to 75%. And if you look historically, every time we dropped to 75% of people in profitability, that ended up being a very key support or key resistance level. And we just came right down to it and bounced. So this could be a, really, really bullish support zone. It is a very, very bullish support zone at $53,500. When we saw that profitability reduce that, that level, that will allow us for now to go higher. So 80K or 85K. And we're going to talk about that in the liquidations right now. As at $72,400 Bitcoin, $19 billion of shorts will liquidate. Never bet against technology. Now, I have to ask you guys, can we get some W's in the chat? Can we get some W's in the chat for the liquidations here? As we went to 53K, as we were below 60K, as me and DZ were buying and longing and purchasing all at these zones with you guys over the last few weeks, we kept showing you guys the liquidity was above us. It was at that $72,000 level. I still expect us to breach that and take out that liquidity zone. And once we do, guess what happens, guys? Liquidity is probably going to start opening up underneath us. And that's where we pay attention to the markets. And as you go to 80 or 82 or 90 or 100K, that's where we start going, okay, there's a lot of liquidity to below us. We might get another retracement there. And again, historically, we get 20 to 30% pullbacks all the time in these bull runs, guys. They're not something to be scared of. They're something to be aware of. That's all we're doing and playing these markets together.
The rich will get richer if it pushes up to 72. And not because Bitcoin's up, because they're stealing people's funds who are just over-levered.
Well, speaking of stealing funds, we did have a Mt. Gox hack. And over 36%, everybody was worried that we were going to crash and burn with Mt. Gox sell-offs. Well, guess what, guys? Over 36% of the Mt. Gox Bitcoin has already been distributed to creditors, but whales keep accumulating. So yeah, your Bitcoin OGs, they are being paid back right now, and you're not seeing that sell-off here despite being at $65,000 Bitcoin price action. Very bullish to see here. 3 whales and institutions injected over 300 million USDT into the crypto market today. Coming from Cumberland, they withdrew 80 million from Tether Treasury to Kraken, Coinbase, and OKX. And then, of course, 2 other wallets. So lots of buying pressure entering these markets right now. With this, you have Bitcoin mining stock values rising faster than the Bitcoin they produce. JP Morgan. Bitcoin miners are incredibly bullish because they're realizing there's a lot more they can do than just mine Bitcoin. A lot of Bitcoin mining facilities out there, chat, are, becoming, servers for a lot of your large AI corp. Like they have a lot of these, they have massive warehouses, massive capacity for this, for storage, rendering, etc. Not only are they flowing into this new marketplace, they're also building out things like Bitcoin layer 2s and side chains where they're making money off the transactions and the mempools on the network. So very, very bullish for Bitcoin miners. And I think it's just very normal when we saw a lot of the miners acquiring one another. That happens historically after the Bitcoin halvings, because the companies that weren't making a lot of money, they're now struggling twice as much to produce the same amount of Bitcoin.
And they overpump compared to Bitcoin, and they overdump compared to Bitcoin.
Yes.
It's just basically a way of like levered trading Bitcoin.
Kinda like
It's
an
also
altcoin.
It's also generally the way new industries are created. You see a lot of small players, pop up to create this thing, and then the big players come in and consolidate them, roll them all up, kind of like internet service providers back in the day and all those sort of things. There was tons of people doing it, and the big ones come in and buy it and put it all together and make the product better over time. So I'm not surprised at all.
Well, this is bullish. Bitcoin currently sees around $46.4 billion in on-chain volume daily.
Dang.
That is comparable to traditional payment processors like Visa and MasterCard. Filtered economical transfer volumes are closer to about $6.5 billion.
That sounds weird.
A day.
A filtered economical transfer volume.
It doesn't matter. I don't know what they're
sound like
trying
it's
to do
every
there.
single Visa and MasterCard transaction.
Yeah, but still, 46.4 in total is insane to actually see here, and very bullish for the markets. Just in, we have another billionaire attending the Bitcoin conference. This is going to be the biggest Bitcoin conference in history.
He's doing the Trump hand gestures.
He's already feeling it.
Well, let us know too. I want to know who's going to be coming to Nashville for the Bitcoin conference. Obviously, we'll all be out there. We'll be doing interviews. We'll be happy to meet up with you guys. We're doing a media house for a lot of the other creators and people coming in there for interviews. So like he said, billionaires, politicians, a lot of the smartest, most powerful people in the world will be at this conference. And if you don't think that's going to impact the future of Bitcoin and the price action we're going to see in this cycle, I don't know what to tell you. I'll say this every day, I guess, for the rest of the time, but everybody in this chat is probably not bullish enough. Clearly, you're very bullish on Chainlink. I don't think people are bullish enough on Bitcoin. My last thing I will say about Chainlink is it's the only other coin outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe even more than Ethereum, that I have as a long-term hold that I might even consider holding through the bear market. I see Chainlink being, it's definitely going to be here in 29 and 20, in future cycles. Almost everything else is pure speculation, in my opinion. I mean, these ETFs help, but I mean, Solana.
We'll get you on that Ondo gang. Get you there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. Yes. The more that happens, we'll see. But right now, there's just pure speculation. Hey, welcome to the Alliance. Anthony Archer just joined as a member.
Let's go, baby. Surpassed 1 billion in inflows over the last 3 trading days. Insanity. As people were scared, guys. When you see institutions buying this amount of Bitcoin, the interest is.
I got a video coming out 7 p.m. 10 reasons why Bitcoin's going to hit 100K this year. So just make sure you have notifications on. Stick around for that. 7 p.m. It's going to be a barn burner.
Well, we're seeing billions pour in, which is incredibly bullish. And of course, Vanik and Inter Invest partnered to launch the first Bitcoin exchange traded note, ETN, for the French. So the French pension plans are looking to be, saved here, maybe allowing regulated Bitcoin investments in retirement savings.
Yeah, they elect Marie Le Pen. They need an ETN.
Maybe.
Not an ETF?
Wow, look at you. Look, that was, man, just spitting bars. Eminem over here.
I was that Tom McDonald song, it just got me fired up.
Bullish on Duke, baby. I love to see it in the chat here.
That is good. Too much spam.
Too much, though. Be careful.
I'm going to put you
in
timeout for 1 minute.
Yeah, we're going to have to hit you with the toilet paper. Keep spamming Duke.
We have to read the chat still, guys. Yeah, but no, appreciate the love here. Vanik and Inter Invest partnered. Share the love for Duke, though. Like, seriously. But again, appreciate that, guys, here. So, yeah, Bitcoin coming to French pension plans. That's very bullish. I think you're going to see in a lot of retirements. U.S. debt nears $35 trillion. Bitcoin key to surviving catastrophic collapse. This is coming from Eric Voorhees. Now, I want to point this out here. I want to talk about this because I love breaking this chart down if you pull it up on the screen here.
Yeah.
U.S. national debt, $35 trillion. This is the biggest, right here. I'm going to warn you guys here. This is the biggest fear-mongering tool that we have seen in modern history, okay? Look, $35 trillion, not good. It's not good. I'm not going to sit here and try to be like, oh, it does make sense. But the reality is, it doesn't matter who's even elected this cycle. It doesn't matter if it's Trump. It doesn't matter if it's Biden. It doesn't matter if it's Biden or Trump for another 4, 8, 12, 16 years, okay?
It doesn't matter if it's Barron Trump. It
doesn't matter if it's Barron Trump in 20 years.
Hunter's dealer. Anybody.
Anybody. It doesn't matter if it's the laptop and it gets some AI integration and it starts preaching for us. But what we're looking at is something that is unsolvable. It is going to take decades to fix the deficit issues that are created from the last 50 to 60 years. Ever since we came off that gold standard, guys, we finance wars. The best conversation around this is what happens with the United States military. So, a lot of people argue as charging NATO and making them pay for our military actually good, or is that terrible of us to do that we're not going to defend those countries? You have to realize that comes from us. That comes from me, you,
it's
Jeezy,
your
TJ.
taxpayer money.
Exactly. And so guess what happens if we were to pull out of that, right? It's not going to happen. I don't ever see where that actually takes place. NATO is going to pay. But the problem is a lot of the policies and the payment rails that have been structured around tariffs and everything globally, these sanctions, they are economic hitman policies, I would say. We're kind of one giant loan shark, and it's a pyramid. If the top of that pyramid were to collapse, everything underneath it would shatter. And so I don't see a world where the US debt can't go to 60 trillion or 70 trillion. They've already printed an excessive amount. They're going to continue to print. And for that reason, I'm not necessarily bearish on the US dollar, like, oh, it's going to, something's going to flip this. I think we are still the world's strongest superpower. We're now the largest. People are like, oh, we're coming off Saudi Arabia's oil. Guys, we're the largest importer and exporter ever in oil in the United States. People don't realize that. We do not need Saudi Arabia. It is the military that is pretty much backing the value of that dollar at this point. So if you guys are worried about the U.S. national debts, it makes me incredibly bullish on Bitcoin, but I'm not worried of it collapsing, at least in the next any foreseeable future at this point. But that printing, okay, the printing is bullish for Bitcoin. The printing is bullish for crypto, because as the U.S. does print more money, second and third world countries, they are going to be forced to adopt a decentralized currency that stops embedding this into this endless debt. As the U.S. raises interest rates or prints more money, it costs more money for all the countries that are relying on the dollar to pay back their own loans from the U.S. So it's this giant circular mess that is going to take decades to fix, and Bitcoin is a solution to that. So get bullish on crypto there.
Great stuff.
This is wild here. Bets by bond investors. Look how bonds are absolutely betting on this market. This is the bond market. So the bond market is betting on the pivot here higher than ever in the last 2 years. They are going insane with the bets on the market. Record volume.
Yeah. And this, I'm covering the bond stuff. I'm covering the Fed rate cuts in the video. It's one of the 10 reasons, folks. It's one of the 10 reasons.
One of the 10 reasons. Is that a gray hair in Josh's hair, or is that the?
No, I was going to call you out. You're still young, so you're probably not worried about the grays just yet.
Look, I take it as that's my gray hairs are my college tuition.
Yeah, but it is. What they're looking at is the reflection there at the light. So some of it is the light.
I know I have probably one or two. Yeah. But tokenized U.S. Treasuries may hit $3 billion in the end of 2024. This is FUD. This analyst, I'm sorry, I don't mean to bash on you, brother. But if you knew about RWA.XYZ, like Discover Crypto here, and you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, you'd be a very smart trader out there, because you would know the market's already at $1.86 billion. And you would know that next month, on August 12th, MakerDAO is opening up another $1 billion in tokenized treasuries to all of the ecosystem, with Ondo, Biddle, Maple, all these products participating. So that is already in itself almost $3 billion. But I think we will surpass $3 billion.
Yeah, by the when you start thinking about the numbers of all right, so gold, our treasuries, trillions of dollars. Gold, $16 trillion. If we were just on board 0.01% of these, it would be massive news. I mean, so we're talking about $3 billion. 1/1000th of the gold market cap would be $16 billion. 16 billion. 1/1000th.
I'm going to go put my life savings in the... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not jumping the gun on anything here, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1/10,000th. I'm actually off.
Josh hair is greasy. Josh was short. You guys thought I was a short king. That's cool. I'll take it. But no, I'm actually 6'2". JD Vance states the J stands for Jasmine. I don't think that's how that works. But M-Swing shows 10-year treasury yields trend at weekly time frame is near breakdown. Again, more bullish TA coming out of here. Polymarket taps election statistician Nate Silver as advisor. This is going to be really, really good in terms of, and let me see if he highlighted the article here, but Polymarket rapidly becoming the most popular blockchain-based betting market. Guys, we've been talking about using this for a while here, but Polymarket is insane with the amount of volume on these elections right now. We're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions in total, going into who's going to win this election. And I'm going to ask chat here because I see it on the screen, but type 1 in chat if you think Republicans are win. So that's going to be Trump. Type 1 if you think Trump's going to win. Type 2 if you think Biden's going to win. Type 1 in chat if you think Trump's going to win. Type 2 in chat if you think Biden's going to win. Because right now, in the swing states even, Polymarket is betting on a lot of Republican wins, which is very, this is a massive red wave, so to speak, that is being betted on. These Polymarket numbers are insane. $111 million in monthly volume in June was a record high. $113 million so far in July with 2 weeks to go. So probably going to double.
I'm
the
going to
volume
cover
coming in.
some of the stuff on Polymarkets, not Polymarket, the website itself, but some of the numbers, some of the statistics of how people are betting is going to be, again, one of the 10 reasons. You're going to have to turn on those notifications, 7 p.m. to banger.
Lots of ones here. Stop messing. U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump says our competitor in crypto is China. He said he will release a new NFT as well. Here are the details. So this makes me incredibly bullish on crypto.
Speaking of China, real quick,
man.
I don't know if people have heard, but like this is, I'm pretty
I have
sure
it on the
breaking
screen for
news
you.
about Xi Jinping apparently had a stroke and he's maybe in a coma. So
Yep,
Yeah,
on the screen
I'll
for
pull
you
up
right
anything
here.
breaking.
People don't realize people are very
Unconfirmed.
bullish on China. And if you guys,
I'm surprised
really,
the markets didn't dump harder.
because we don't know what's going to take place or take effect. Because one, does he have a double? We don't even know what the system's in bet. What we know is Xi Jinping, and this is fact, and this is actually off this is kind of crazy, but there's also a secret agent, according to the U.S., that is being indicted right now, who has been huge for trilateral agreements and has covered a lot of North Korea. Her name is Sue, and we don't know the logistics behind this yet. I've been trying to research and find, why they would actually believe this. They're saying that she sold out for like $32,000 worth of like handbags and stuff. I don't know how real that is. So that's unfolding because that has to do with the trilateral agreement between South Korea, Japan, and the United States, which is one of Biden's like most effective, honestly, policies that we've seen geopolitically so far. So a lot of weird, interesting stuff occurring around that's going to unravel over the coming months. But Xi Jinping has essentially taken out or put in jail any predecessor or somebody that would step in and actually take over if he were to fall. There is no system embedded, at least from an intelligence perspective in the United States, that there is going to be a smooth transaction within that. So very good point from DZ here is I'm surprised the markets didn't fall. Well, I think it's because markets can't trust anything that's coming out of the CCP.
Like we don't know for sure what's coming. I mean, he says right there,
it's too much. It's so much fun.
It's very hard. But I do like Mr. Techno Good. He said that's the face of awful coffee. Right.
That is the face of it. This isn't, by the way, this isn't the moment he had a stroke.
No.
This is the moment he probably took out the chef who gave him that coffee and he did not like it.
I thought he shorted XRP.
Maybe. But yeah, I really recommend reading into it. I love reading about different world leaders and very interesting story coming from Xi Jinping because he is somebody who was royalty, became a slave, and then started taking over a lot of the trade in South, I believe, East China, and started like capitalizing off of it. Took over. He ended up killing his, I believe, stepbrother and his uncle, and chose violence at the point of a time where he could have chosen to, actually to take China in a positive, better direction. And he actually says it on. His story is crazy. He's the world's greatest supervillain. It's crazy. It's insane to watch. But anyways,
wait a minute. For whatever reason, we don't ever hear about his backstory.
You're not allowed to for some reason. But I've tried covering on TikTok. Well, obviously that might make sense why. But on Twitter, you should. Yeah, if you go through everything since Matt, his history is insane.
What's LeBron James have to say about him, though?
I actually have no idea.
That's what we need to know.
I
want to look into it now.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But why not the actual? Well, we don't need to talk about Trump NFTs again. And that's just the beginning of it. There's hundreds and hundreds of billionaires that have gone.
So he's a Targaryen. Okay, that was
Elon Musk to move X headquarters to Texas here. This is really cool to see and very, very bullish in my opinion. California just keeps taking L after L after L. They want to strip all the rights of parents from their children and incite things that are just disgusting. So Gavin Newsom here signed AB 1955 today, which bans schools. Schools can no longer ban schools from making rules requiring parental notification if a child identifies as transgender. So essentially what's happening here is if your child goes to school, and there's a lot of, this is, by the way, on file, everything I'm about to say, this is educational purposes only. This has been done in the UK. There's a psychological and mental illness that is aligned with a lot of premature, there's a lot that's going on through puberty and everything with these kids. They can't tattoo themselves, let alone should they be making decisions on cutting off body parts, right? But California, China might as well be, but California has passed a law that allows, ultimately parents to not have any say if the kids goes to the school and says, I want this affirmative care. They're allowed to do it without the parents' control.
They're basically trying to make this, they're trying to put control of children into the control of the state rather than the parents. And that is a very, very scary proposition that Elon Musk has been against for quite some time. So
Yeah, I just wanted to pull that up because that is somebody that will run for presidency one day, and that is just insane to see.
Now,
but
if they move the Boring Company to Texas, we're going to say, you better stay away from the Rio Grande.
well,
I'm watching you.
So-
If you're real south in Texas, I'm suspicious of you.
make kids normal again. Well, hey guys, I got very bullish news coming for you guys out of the crypto market. So that was very, very unsettling from California, but most things in California are unsettling. But FTX agrees to $12.7 billion settlement with the CFTC over the collapse.
Pump it. No, I'm just saying pump it. That's gonna pump a lot of stuff.
Because what I want to point out here is documents from bankruptcy court show that now restructured digital assets Behemoth, which went bust in November, will pay $4 billion in disgorgement fees. So this is going to go to the CFTC, but $8.7 billion will be paid in retuition. And now I don't exactly know how it's going to release. Retuition is usually paid back to the people affected by the overall
I have a hot
collapse.
take here. I think normally you would have the company FTX in this case. They would fight that. They would say, 12 billion is too much. We want to settle lower. Just like Ripple Labs is doing with the SEC. They said, you gave us a fine. I think it was $2 billion. Way too much. Let's go back to the courts. FTX is probably just going to pay the $12 billion. They do not want to go back to the courts because as we're nearing election season, that's going to bring up all the illegal campaign contributions Sam Bankman-Fried made.
100% agree with you.
So we got to sweep it under the rug,
even
pay
more
the $12
bullish
billion,
than that,
and everybody stop talking about it.
And what's bullish about this is Germany was FUD, right? Everybody's like, oh, they're selling $4 billion worth. Mt. Gox, oh, they're selling $4 billion worth. Well, 8.7 is going back to that restitution. So I would imagine
Wait a minute, 3 plus 3 is 6.
40, 50.
That's less than 8.
Let's say even 30% of that could go back into these markets. You're looking at a Germany amount of buying pressure now entering these markets once that does release. So that is a lot of buying pressure.
FTX users, some of the most, I would say, a lot of the heavyweight whales, very sophisticated users, a lot of people that have been in crypto for a long time. This could potentially be very bullish for Solana. Obviously, a lot of heavy Solana.
All the prison guards and prisoners that he's with are going to buy Solana with their stable coin.
Yeah, there you go.
It's interesting. Yeah, and I'm just incredibly bullish. I mean, that's like what everybody was fearful on like 2 weeks ago is like now the opposite. Like, oh, well, actually, we're getting buying pressure. What the heck?
I believe it's supposed to happen in September, right around the time of if we get rate cut in September, repayment in September. I don't know if it's in that article or not, but I believe that's what I've heard. So again, like the timing of a lot of this could be massive.
Almost like one of the 10 reasons.
Oh, really?
Ooh, well, I wonder if this is one of the 10 reasons because Binance volume dominance has significantly dropped since March. And this is something I want to point out to people listening into the markets this cycle. Bybit is taking over a lot of that dominance. So are we going to see different exchange effect listings? Or like, Coinbase and Binance, when a token got listed on those in 2021, I mean, you're looking at 400% gains. Is that going to happen again this cycle?
Yeah, when Bybit kicked off U.S. users H1 2021, I thought they were done. But it's surprising to see them, still emerging and growing 3 years later. That's typically what you don't see with crypto exchanges.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very also still. That's another story I think that needs to be unraveled is Richard Tang, the success story of Richard Tang, because this is an individual that every month was promoted to a new CEO of a division. And within 2 years, went from like the Singapore Monetary Authority and helping develop like Abu Dhabi's entire structure around crypto regulation. He went from in 2 years, like someone that wasn't really high up at the company to CEO. Incredible success story there and has actually turned Binance into a complete behemoth still. And now CZ got a slap on the wrist. He's going to be coming back to these markets. A veteran analyst says altcoins unlikely to go lower from here. So here is some bull news. Anonymous trader Pentoshi shares with his 801,000 followers on social media platform a chart showing the total crypto market cap, excluding the top 10 digital assets and stablecoins. You don't even have to pull up that chart anymore.
Yeah.
That's there we go.
Others.
There you go. Here's your others. So what we're looking at is essentially a bottoming when we came down to that $53,500 level, and now we're getting a reversal. A lot of people are expecting with the Ethereum ETF to finally a breakout from the ETH chart. I would say yes. I just want to, remind everybody that there's way more cryptos out there. So rather than getting the 2040, you'll probably still see some of those, but I do expect a lot of growth from the altcoin sector, which is going to be very, very bullish. Bitcoin is the leader, but altcoins is where most of the money is at. This is also incredibly bullish here on the charts. We saw the US dollar dominance get rejected off its trend line, and the dollar is expected to, of course, drop further and further. That's only bullish for crypto. Ethereum outshines Bitcoin in investor confidence reports. And again, more bullish talk for altcoin sector and Ethereum as a whole. Don't need to dive into it, but essentially with the Ethereum ETF interest. A lot of inflows are expected to come into the altcoin market. The U.S. launch of Ethereum ETFs next week is predicted to push ETH above $5,000.
Go.
Wow,
Nice.
attracting 15 billion in inflows.
That's going to be huge. Breaking. I saw something in the others chart, and I said I saw it with my eyes, and I felt like Rain Man. You know when he drops the matchsticks? He was like 37, definitely 37. I saw something emerge from the charts. The lines were appearing before me like Zach Galifianakis in the meme. Look at this trend line dating all the way back to 2018. This is the others, so this is altcoins. I feel like this is a very strong support level that we're at right now, because this thing, acted as support back then, acted as a resistance, point of control, and acted as support all the way back in 2021, and it's going all the way back to the peak of 2018, basically 2017.
Wow.
There you go.
All right.
Real quick, if you guys have any questions for Q&A, drop them in the chat. We have a couple minutes. I see Ray, one of our members, did ask, and Jeremiah Dixon said I hit the like button for our newest members, but and we've got two different answers in the chat from this. It says, guys, I'm down 50% on Matic. Should I hold or sell? What do you think? And we got one person that said, that's a vintage coin from 21. You should move on. Another person says hold. What do you guys think? Matic, a top mover, a lot of partnerships. Obviously, there's a lot of competition in the L2 space on Ethereum. Is that something to hold, or is that something
I'm going to turn
on?
a little bearish point about Matic into a positive here. There's 2 years ago, a year ago, Matic, what were they doing better than everybody? It was partnerships. I remember hearing the Starbucks partnership, and I said, oh my God, the onboarding events are here.
Disney.
We're going to finally spend crypto to buy some coffee. But then I think a year later, maybe 2 years later, Starbucks dissolved the partnership. And there's 1 or 2 other instances where Polygon spent a bunch of money, the Matic team spent a bunch of money for a partnership, and then the partnership led to nothing. But I think it didn't lead to nothing. I think it led to relationships. And I think a lot of these large corporations, especially when you look at, these 2 corporations own 90% of things you see in a grocery store. There's a lot of continuity at the top levels for these large corporations. They've established the relationships. They've shook the hands 2 years ago. When these companies come back into crypto again, which I think they will, they're going to say, all right, do we, hey, we have Polygon in the Rolodex, or do we talk to emerging L2? Knowing that it's going to be some 57-year-old executive at Taco Bell, they're probably just going to say, yeah, call the guy at Matic. I like them. We had lunch where we played golf together. I don't know if I want to talk to the guy from Base. And I'm bullish on Base, but I feel like these partnerships are going to emerge again in a strong way when retail gets excited about crypto again.
Yeah. We have Mr. Techno Goody saying, Q&A, what 3 tokens high market cap you recently dumped for long-term hold? And then what 3 have you picked up? So I don't necessarily think we've dumped any long-term holdings. I think a lot of our long-terms we might be reallocating. But
I would have said I dumped XRP a while back, but yeah.
That was a while back. Recently, I don't think there's been anything that's shifted too much. It's more reallocation. I would like more Ondo. I want more Chainlink. I want more Solana. Those are going to be some of the large picks that I want in that portfolio to really, leave it up there and keep it heavy. But if you're looking at crypto narratives, this is a great article from CoinW. People asking about L2s. What's your thoughts on Polygon Matic? The popularity has shifted tremendously this cycle, and you're looking at the most popular crypto narratives usually perform the best.
Mm-hmm.
And this is still the same today. So even though this was Q2, it was the same in Q3, and I expect it to be the same in Q4. Meme coins are the most popular sector, which is insane to see. But I don't have any more than 3% of my portfolio allocated to that. Never will. But real world assets here are number 2. AI is number 3. Solana meme coin, Solana ecosystem, then Base.
Which
Solana's taking over is my point here.
I would say all 3 of those: Solana meme coin, Solana ecosystem, Base ecosystem. That's all just meme coins. There's really not much else on any of those.
You got Aerodrome, which has been performing, but not too much there. Layer 2s are one of the least popular. Even Bitcoin, BRC20 are taking over L2s, and I think that these will have a comeback, and I think DPIN will have a comeback into Q1 of 2024. So we shall see.
All right, we got a member here, Alden. If you're to exit out of Algo and XRP today, what would you roll in? Me right now, I'm going with Ondo, more than likely.
Ooh, all right, I'm getting them onto the Ondo here.
Though?
Yeah, I'm so real quick to wrap up on the Matic thing. There's a lot of really good responses there. Tax loss harvest and move on. Matic is still good for a long-term hold. It could be, but overall, I would agree. That was a really good assessment you just pulled up there, Josh. The narrative in crypto matters a lot. Layer 2s is not a sexy narrative. It's not an interesting one, and even leading that right now, I would say would be Optimism, Arbitrum, and Base, really sucking the liquidity out of that L2 stuff. So look for a narrative that makes sense. Coins that I'm looking at right now, if I was going to rotate out of an old coin, I think I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Injective protocol is one I really like. Arweave and Near are also two other ones that we're looking at. So they're moving right now. Don't let those pumps scare you. Maybe you wait for a little bit of a pullback, but some of those are good. Fat Tom wants to know Chainlink or Quant. Which one performs better? Do you guys have a thought on
Chainlink.
that?
Chainlink. Here's one we
Quant's
haven't talked about in a while that I know a lot of people in the chat hold. The graph.
Yeah.
How do we feel about the graph?
We've used to talk about this all the time because they had
the graph was
they
hot.
have one marketing statement, the Google of blockchain.
Yeah.
But past that, it is the most unsexy token I have ever read in my life. Reading that white paper made me fall. No one wants to learn about indexing. That's my thing.
If you don't know what it does, it does
sexy.
the opposite of Chainlink. So Chainlink will get like a weather, sports score, whatever, and put it on chain. This is doing the opposite. Like, so you play a video game that's Web3, it will take, all right, your sword is upgraded, and it takes it off chain. So to me, it's the reverse Chainlink. But I think you could do a lot of these things like built into the new L1s and L2s. They have this functionality.
A lot of integration.
Yeah. What is that? Jug Lands, ask AVAX over Matic as ETH Layer 2 for gaming. So, yeah.
Well, Matic has no more sell pressure, right? Like 93% of the token is out. Avalanche has daily drips. It's a positive and a negative. Because of the daily drips, there's people who have like $1 billion on the horizon. And so they're incentivized for $1 billion to highlight Avalanche. People don't have that same horizon with Polygon. And so in a weird way, even though there's more sell pressure, there might be more cheerleaders for Avalanche.
Yeah, I think and they've got the better narrative. I think they can say, "Oh, we're the layer 1 for, or we're the smart contract platform for gaming. A lot of gaming stuff is on it." So, that and it's a
Becker
lower
will be
bullish
on it, and that'll move it.
No, Avalanche higher market cap than Polygon. So.
Yeah, it is now. Fully diluted, it actually kind of gets scary right there. Fully diluted value for Avalanche is tremendously high. So if we go to Polygon here, it's going to be around rank 15. Oh my God, Polygon's all the way down to 24 these days.
Mm-hmm.
Fully diluted, it is worth $5.5 billion. And you said Avalanche? Yeah. Avalanche is right here. So 5.5 for Polygon. Avalanche fully diluted, 12.
Yeah.
It's already worth twice as much fully diluted.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. There's $6 billion on this horizon waiting to be claimed by these VCs. And so they're going to, oh my God, I love Avalanche. I'll diamond hand forever. And then like they get that $6 billion on the horizon. And then Avalanche will perform like Polygon.
We got Laserface in the chat saying about to start a DAG bag. Not a bad pick at all. If you guys, Constellation DAG, a lot of really good partnerships. We had Dagnum on here yesterday. I know Drew from Blockchain Basement, huge fan, been holding since 2021. So that's another low cap that could do extremely well. Yeah. Every game on Avalanche gets its own chain. That's how you incorporate every game and series. Yeah, that is true. But it's a stronger narrative. So I'm looking at, we're going to do a video on this. DZ and I were talking about this right before the stream on AI coins and some of what, I think that crypto and AI combo is going to be an extremely powerful narrative into next year. So that's something to consider. So there's a lot of options. That's what makes crypto fun. You can kind of build different portfolios around different niches.
And AI robots will be talking to each other, and there will probably be systems where they have to pay each other. And the example, I think, Josh driving his vehicle, and there's 2 Teslas. And maybe, you could pay some amount of money where your Tesla will overtake other Teslas. And then you say, you know what? I'll take the slow route to work. And you get paid like $4 by people like Josh saying, all right, let me go ahead and pass you. And then it's all happening on the blockchain. It's all happening. You don't realize anything's happening and probably paying a Worldcoin though.
Yeah, no, I agree. And so the last question here about Jasmine. Guys, it's not that we don't like Jasmine. It's that we just don't talk about because I'm not that creator that comes out and talks about every crypto as if I know them. I'm not ever been a bag holder of Jasmine. Jasmine always marketed itself as the Bitcoin of Japan, and I just hate that marketing perspective.
A meme. Isn't it not a meme coin?
It's not a meme coin. It's a L1, I believe. Actually, it's built on Ethereum too, I think. But
I'm not. Let
me see. English here. The website's crazy. It pumped a lot this cycle. That's the only reason why people want to really talk about it here. But they have also Sony executives a part of it. They have some pretty strong partnerships. But it's just one, guys. We can't be in every project on the internet here. So that's all there is with that. But guys, make sure you guys smash that like button on your way out. Leave us a comment about your top 3 crypto picks for this cycle because we will be dropping videos on, of course, in-depth deep dives into what these altcoins do and what they are. So if you want us to do a video on Jasmine, hit that like button. Let us know in the comments, and maybe we'll actually drop one for you guys with an in-depth, research kind of on where they are. Jasmine has pumped a lot, but does that mean it can't go higher? We'll see you in another video, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
Smash the likes on the
Actually,
way
we'll
out.
see you at 4 p.m. What am I talking Today's show is powered by Arculus, the best cold storage wallet on the market for you guys. One tap, total security, self-custody is the most important trait and characteristic and attribute that you have to have and utilize in crypto, or else you're going to get wrecked. You got to get yourself that metal hardware wallet self-custody for you guys. Use code DC10 in the description below.